Okay, and we're live. We are live. Hello, Internet. I'm the one, the only Condor Jez flying across the Andean highlands of Peruvia. And joining me today is you know him, you love him, you want to be him. He's fat, he's large, Canales.
Hola. I don't know if
Hey,
I would
what's going on with
describe
your
myself
microphone?
as large. I'm kind of thick. What? My microphone is doing weird shit again?
Yeah, yeah.
What does it sound like?
I don't know, when you said Ola, it kind of like uh, crap, what was it? Peaked.
Oh, that's probably because I leaned over it like really closely in a
Yeah,
mostly sexual way, like
I know,
this.
I know, but unfortunately, it gets like the static. But
Oh,
anyways, your voice is still sexy.
thank you.
So, my rotund lover, I believe you have something to tell us about your weekend.
Well, yeah, I've been visiting the beautiful and free town of Madrid here in Spain, which some of you may remember it's the capital of my country of Spain. It was cool. I needed like a proper vacation until my previous vacation backfired spectacularly, leaving me and my mom stranded in London for 3 days, freezing our asses nearly to death.
Mm.
My mom caught a fucking bronchitis, like world class bronchitis. She's still recovering. So yeah, I got to chill for 4 days in Madrid. I got to meet one of my old high school friends who's living there, working there. So yeah, it's been cool.
My weekend wasn't as exciting. Well, I was supposed to go check out like a workspace in case shit shit goes out here like it had been like half the week,
Yeah, because in Peru, the shit goes
and
out like
but I
every
didn't.
day.
Yeah, it's just like the stuff going south. Yeah. um well, I'm not going to show it for because I don't want to demoralize our all of our little fans
Eh,
who's hanging around here. But I saw a video from from a southern town in Peru called Juliaca,
okay.
where a bunch of protesters killed a guy's cat because he little
Oh,
cat because he didn't join like the protests.
really? Fuck those guys.
Yeah, it was really sad.
The
And I
fuck,
called
dude?
them like I called them disgraceful and shameful animals, and um,
Rightfully so.
said that I was going to hug my the little nigbone cat,
Why would they do
little
something like that?
nogtard, extra hard, give
I
her
don't know what they were
extra
protesting, but if if
snuggles.
if they're gonna kill cats over it, I'm not on their side. Fuck that shit.
They're protesting the government because apparently what I've been hearing is that you know who Evo Morales is?
Yes, I'm afraid I do know who Evo Morales is. What's up, Omega?
And
Hey,
Mega, our squigga.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you, Omega.
Without
And your
problems?
silly made up name.
Oh, I'm asking because I'm using the microphone.
Okay.
Yeah, you sound pretty good actually.
No, thanks.
No, we're just. I was just relating the tale of how how people in the South killed a poor innocent kitten
Oh,
because a man chose to work to provide for himself and his little cat instead of going on pointless protests. Well, I mean the protests have merit. It's just that I was about to tell Canales that Evo Morales, the former president of Bolivia,
Mm.
He's starting to get into the people's heads down south.
Ah,
Yeah. And so they're like, well, technically they're eating their own because they're against the current interim president Dina, who's a Peru Libre, which is pretty far left and supposedly, I should say, allegedly funded by a Maoist group called Sendero Luminoso or Shining Path.
Okay.
So, how about tell us how your weekend is going?
Well, I actually enjoyed my last week of vacations. I
Uh,
go to work next week.
oh well, I hope you got a lot of rest.
I cannot complain. It was a pretty
Okay.
great week.
hmm I mean, we do enjoy your wonderful commentary when you do your snorecast, but oh, very stimulating thought. I did not even, I couldn't even comprehend that logic that just streamed out of your nostrils.
I never actually thought about that, but you're right.
My God, Omega, why are you on this show? You should be like with Jordan
You should be
Peterson
the
or
show. You shouldn't
Joe
be on the show.
Rogan. You are far too intellectually above us.
You know, I just have the idea. Imagine if someone make a stream of people snoring.
Hey, Mega Snorkat 2023.
Yeah,
Make it happen!
come on, you can do it. Anyways, I promised the fat one a quick show, so let's just get into it. Anyways, like our title says, move over January 6th. Here comes the Portuguese word for eight, Janeiro. Woo!
Revolution.
Ah, fuck, where is this? Oh my god, I hate this setup with all the links from here it is.
Things and
Can't
stuff.
you just have like the list of tabs correspond to what I have on top of the page, please? Anyways.
Why can't you just be normal, Streamlabs?
StreamYard uh yelling, screaming autistically. Yeah, fix this shit, Gage. Cause Gage is the guy who made Streamlit. So fix this shit, Gage. Make the tabs in the presentation list correspond to what I have on top of my window. Anyways, Brazil. Bolsonaro supporters stormed National Congress. As you can see, all the lovely green and yellow. After hours of chaos, Brazilian police have retaken the National Congress building after pro-Bolsonaro protesters stormed the building. Police are still in the process of clearing rioters from the Supreme Court headquarters and Planalto Presidential Palace. The Chief Justice Rosa Weber on Sunday said the country's Supreme Court will work to ensure that terrorists will be made an example of. So, supporters of former President Jair Bolsonaro stormed the National Congress building in Brasilia earlier today. What else? Hundreds of people invaded the building, calling for military intervention to overthrow President Luiz Ignacio Lula da Silva, and he was inaugurated. So, Brazil is having their own insurrection, I guess.
In some erection. The thing is, Brazil wouldn't have anything to worry about if they were actually a minority. Turns out they seem to be the majority of the country, right? Because where are the counter protesters? Where are the Lula guys? Where are the Lula people?
Oh
They
yeah,
should be
Yeah,
there fighting them. Where are
good
they?
point.
I mean, on January 6th, we had the Antifa-tards doing their stupid communist bullshit.
Mhm. But I mean, if Lula was the winner, there's no problem. Like the pro Lula guys will thwart this, right? They should be everywhere. Where are they?
They didn't pay them.
They fucking go. That's how you know Well, I don't know if I can see this on the stream because I don't want to get struck or demonetized or whatever. But I will only say that there's a good reason to believe that the Brazilian elections, unlike the American elections, which we all know were perfect, there's good reason to know to think that maybe there was some tampering with the Brazilian elections, though. You know?
Hmm. Well, here's some footage.
Muita gente, muita gente lá fora, pessoal. Muita gente lá fora, pessoal. Conter o povo, não conseguiu conter o povo. Quebraram as janelas, quebraram tudo, entraram dentro da casa, quebraram tudo, tudo.
I mean,
Yeah, we get the idea. It's just
yeah.
shit happens.
Hmm. But I should also see that this this insurrection was a bit more unruly than the one in America.
There was actual breaking and entering involved in this one.
Hmm. Here's another one. Neymar Jr. shirt.
I mean, I'm
I
pretty
mean,
sure that after Trump, they knew what was coming, and they were already
yep,
angry beforehand.
yep. Here's uh the the Planalto Palace in this moment. And
Por você, por você. Isso aí, gás com massa? É extintor. Quebraram a mesa. Quebraram aqui tudo já. É aqui que fica o presidente? Eu acho que é no outro andar. Onde fica os vidros verdes? Os verdes. Muita fumaça.
but yeah, compared to the one in America, it was this one shows that they're trying to get to the Supreme Court, but I don't know if I can play it.
Do you know if the politicians of the United States have pretty much said anything about having, how's it called, stress syndrome, or I forgot the name.
PTSD.
Oh, you mean
PTSD.
post-traumatic stress? No. Let's see. Well, at least Lula had condemned the invasion of Brazil's seat of power and vowed to hold those responsible. And there's this little decree, and then the president of the Senate, Rodrigo Pacheco, said police were focused on containing the situation. World leaders they're called invaders. Well, here's a statement from us. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan on Sunday condemned the scenes unfolding in Brasilia and said the situation was being watched closely. The United States condemns any efforts to undermine democracy in Brazil.
That's a good
How
one.
ironic. 1964 coup! President Biden is following the situation closely. Yeah, right. Our support for President Biden couldn't even watch like a fly buzz around his head. See, President Biden is following the situation closely, and our support for Brazil's democratic institutions is unwavering.
Yeah, I'm sure President Biden is like, what's going on in
Yep.
Portugal? That's not Portugal, Mr. President. That's Brazil. Who are you? What's going on?
Here's a statement from U.S. President Joe Biden called the situation outrageous.
Outrageous. Here's my wife.
And Mega, here we go. In Mexico, President Andrés Manuel López Obrador took to Twitter to denounce what he called a reprehensible and anti-democratic coup attempt by conservatives in Brazil, incited by the leaders of oligarchic power and its spokespersons and fanatics.
Incited by the leaders of oligarchic power. Fuck off, you cartel sucking motherfucker.
We're gonna talk about that, by the way.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
know we're getting to
I
that.
think I think I stepped over
We're
the line, Omega.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, it's on the way. Uh, Emmanuel Macron tweeted,
The fucking
"The
guy.
will of the Brazilian people and the democratic institutions must be respected. President at the Lula official can count on France unwavering support." And then Argentine President Alberto Fernandez called for unity in the region and offered his support to Lula. "I want to express my repudiation of what is happening in Brasilia, my unconditional support and that of the Argentine people to Lula official in the face of this coup attempt he is facing,"
what
Fernandez
what
purportedly
is
wrote
the
on Twitter.
what
But
is a
which
coup though?
Fernandez? What?
What I was gonna ask, like, what's the real definition of a coup though? Like, isn't a coup like staged by the government itself or by like the army? Like, can the people, the legitimate owners of the country, and the guys who pay the government workers' salary stage a coup? Like they just taking back what's theirs.
Yeah, it's like what Castillo did in Peru.
Yeah, like,
Basically.
by the way, we have Polo Costa Midnight in the
Yep.
Yeah,
comments.
by the way.
No, that was me. That was me saying
Oh,
yo to
oh,
Paulo
okay.
Costa. What's up, Paulo Costa? Who says, Jazz, this is done like Trump's insurrection, Jazz. Like literally. And then he says America had a Viking cosplayer. Brazilians actually trashed their place. And I believe that the Viking cosplayer is like has been held in like some jail cell.
Yeah, he's been treated like the fucking Unabomber.
Which people are still there's still rumors flying around that he may be dead, but I don't know why they aren't dropping the deets because I would like to pay my respects to the ultimate environmentalist.
I thought the Viking was a Democrat who was infiltrated as a
Yeah, he
Republican.
was
That's what
like
I
some
heard
type
myself.
of leftist. He was like some type of leftist, but he was more like a hippie, not a deranged um Democrat, at least. But yeah, Brazil's copying our shit.
Let's see what happens.
Let's see how this plays out, Cotton. Anyways, let's all uh, let's all bow our heads. Canales, you can take this one.
Oh
Oh,
yes, yes. It's been an extremely sad week for us boxing aficionados and practitioners because, as the headline says, legendary boxing trainer and living legend Hector Roca has died at age 82, and it fucking sucks because I didn't get to like see him one last time because of the fucking coup move. But yeah, it was like a total father figure in modern boxing.
Mm.
Mm,
And
he-
is it for certain that he inspired Clint Eastwood's character in Million Dollar Baby?
well, absolutely. I mean, Hilary Swank even thanked him personally during the Oscars.
oh,
Oh,
Yeah. hmm No, the guy was a legend. He was like a. I think he had 19 world champions under his belt, pun intended.
damn.
Yeah, 19 world champions. Among them was Iron Barkley, Arturo Gatti, which I'm sure you guys know. He's like more of the modern ones. And also, he was murdered in his sleep by his wife, Arturo Gatti. I mean,
Oof.
yeah,
But
you know,
Hector Roca, the New York based trainer who worked with nearly 2 dozen world champions, died on
there you go.
Tuesday at the age of 82. A longtime staple of Gleason's gym dating back to its days in Midtown Manhattan, Roca had been hospitalized since the last month due to kidney failure and an abdominal aneurysm, according to a GoFundMe page set up to assist with his expenses. Gleason's gym owner Bruce Silverglade tells The Ring that Roca passed away in his sleep due to a heart attack.
Oh well, at least he didn't suffer.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're all,
Yeah.
this. If you gotta go, that's how you would be able to go. That's pretty good.
hmm So his GoFundMe page, if you want to go drop some money into it, has raised over $18,000 toward a goal of $25,000, which will now go to repatriating his body to his native Panama, where he will be buried next to his mother. For Roca, boxing was a passion that came later in life. Though his family back home in Panama was into the sport, he described himself in a 2005 interview with New York Magazine as a very bad fighter. He instead gravitated towards competitive cycling. Hmm. It
Yep.
wasn't until he came to the United States in the 1970s and walked into Gleason's gym to observe the boxers' workouts that he found his calling as a trainer. And prior to that, he worked transporting clothing racks as a garment cutter, according to a story from Dumbo Direct. Um, as
Yeah, it's a weird one because he was actually a cyclist, and apparently I don't know the whole story, but he apparently was like traveling to the U.S. on a bicycle, something
mhm,
like that, and he made his first stop in the U.S. in Miami, where he became acquainted with the world of boxing, and that brought him to Manhattan, to New York City, where the boxing was actually happening, and that's where he like actually began working as a trainer at Gleason's Gym when it was still in Manhattan. Then they moved it back to down to Brooklyn, and that's where we met him.
all right, so he worked mostly with Arturo Gatti,
Hmm.
Hector Camacho Sr., where he defeated Roca's Panamanian compatriot Robert Duran in the 2001 rematch. And he also worked with world champions Iran Barkley, James Buddy McGirt, and Rogelio Tour, and in more recent times, Heather Hardy and Alicia Ashley. And as we said before, Roca's greatest exposure came in 2005, where he prepared Hilary Swank for her Academy Award winning role in Million Dollar Baby, and he also worked with Jennifer Lopez, Wesley Snipes,
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Oh
John
really?
Leguizamo, and Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's true. He trained her for the movie Girl Fight, which is the basically the first movie that she made. And yeah, I think that the guy who trains her in the movie is actually also based on Hector Roca because he's like this
Mm.
old Hispanic guy.
hmm Well, anyways, he was more than just a trainer here. He was someone who was part of the fabric of Gleason's gym, says Silverglade, who relocated the gym to Brooklyn in 1987. He commented on all the fighters. He would help people out. Sometimes he would give comments when other trainers didn't appreciate it, but that was Hector. He knew this game and he knew the sport of boxing, said Silverglade, who says a memorial service is being planned at Gleason's for Roca. McGirt, who worked with Roca from 86 to 88 and won his first world title with them, says he taught him much of what makes him the trainer he is today. Though McGirt is seen universally as one of the top trainers in the sport, he says Roca doesn't get the credit he deserves. But I think we have. Uh, we're gonna risk copyright in watching this video, and
It's in
then let's
Spanish?
see.
So no, but fuck it, who cares?
Let's see. Dimitri Salita, the former junior welterweight turned promoter, agrees with McGirt that Roca had his detractors, but says boxing knowledge was undeniable. So let's take a look at the video here. I don't care if we're gonna. Um,
I don't care.
this man is a legend.
He is, was, well, still is. Fuck that.
When you is a trainer, you can train a lady, kids, men, or men, anybody, because boxing is one way, and everybody has to learn it one way. You see the actors, doctors, everybody come and listen because they want to learn. This is school where you learn boxing. A lot of people who come in lessons really don't know nothing about boxing and then finish looking like a fighter. The basic is how to step, how to jab, and how to get out from problems. You have to teach step with your jab, defend yourself. How defend yourself? You have to bend your legs, you have to block the punches, or you have to stay away or move in the ring if you don't want to get hit. Because the trainer teach you to throw a punch, but you have to see how you want to throw that punch. So the fighter has to do this. Fake it up, come back with the punch. Step, come back with the punch. Fighter has to be really smart to do all these things. I started in this 32 years ago. I make 90 world champions, 22 movies, and I very tough trainer. And I work with tough people. And the fighter has to have heart and don't be a macho man. Because when you're too macho man, you don't go nowhere. You get beat up. I don't like nobody get hurt in the gym. But most of the people come in the gym to prove things. Why you proving here? Win, beat this guy in the good way. Don't try to kill him. I got a kid when he come here, he thinks he's a tough guy. I said, listen, you in the ram business. You have to go to the street to kill people. Because boxing is for gentlemen.
Yeah, man, I already miss Hector. Damn
But
it.
R.I.P. in peace, Hector.
R.I.P. Hector. R.I.P. He was a great guy. Dude, I just realized I got held bats by the same guy who trained Wesley Snipes. That's fucking awesome.
Also, Paulo Costa says normies usually don't organize government takedowns because they're not interested in taking over. Proper coups are organized by someone who wants to become the president. Like
What?
Castillo, he wanted to be
Yeah.
commie president forever.
Like actually, what Castillo staged that was a proper coup. Actually, what our
Mhm.
president here in Spain, forgot his name again, Pedro Sanchez. Actually, what Pedro Sanchez is doing here in Spain is technically a coup because he's quietly rewriting the laws so he and his party can stay in power forever and they can like do and undo as they please because they're writing laws so they can replace all the judges in the Supreme Court so they can get like they're basically above the law.
Well, before we turn the page to the next topic, remember, Canales, heroes. There are heroes and there are legends. The heroes get remembered, but the legends never die.
It's fucking deep. Yep, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Anyways, arrest of El Chapo's son Ovidio Guzman throws Mexico into chaos ahead of Biden visit. As expected. Just days before go away. Just days before President Joe Biden's visit to Mexico, the country was thrown into turmoil as alleged cartel members, pro tip, they are cartel members, blocked off an airport and areas outside a local army base and limited access to the city of Culiacan in an unsuccessful effort to thwart the capture of drug trafficker Ovidio Guzman. Mexican security forces captured Guzman, the son of infamous Sinaloa drug lord known as El Chapo, in a pre-dawn operation Thursday, and he's wanted, and obviously it's wanted by the U.S. for his involvement in the cartel's activities. Yeah. And as predicted, the chaos spurred gunfights across the northwestern state's capital ahead of Biden's scheduled two-day visit on Monday, with bilateral talks with AMLO and Justin Castro. We're gonna talk more about that in a little bit. Both drug trafficking as well as stemming migrations are expected to be major topics of conversations among the leaders. And such efforts to sow chaos have often occurred after federal security forces arrested important leaders of cartels in Mexico. Um, let's just drop let's drop alleged because it's no lie cartel members carjacked residents, cars set vehicles ablaze, and intermittent gunfire could be heard in the afternoon as the authorities warned people to stay inside and airports in several Sinaloa cities remain closed. And there he is. Uh, so I'm not gonna lie to you, he is pretty cute, even though he's a terrible, horrible person. But then again, I am the same person who has the hots for uh, Muammar Gaddafi.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just have a thing for Mediterranean, man. So
I like Muammar Gaddafi and Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, the former prime minister of Iran.
Okay.
Mahmoud, my man.
Let's see. Aero Mexico said in a statement that one of its jets had been struck by a bullet Thursday morning as it prepared to take off from the Culiacan airport. Online video filmed by passengers showed people kneeling on the floor of the plane, and the airline said that no one was injured. And of course, Guzman has been heavily involved in the cartel's production of fentanyl, which is helping fuel an epidemic of drug use and deaths in the U.S., especially where I used to live. And then here we have some, let's see, yep, some protesters. The guy got killed by fentanyl. Known as the Mouse, Guzman was not one of El Chapo's better-known sons until an aborted operations to capture him 3 years ago, just months after his father was sentenced to life in a U.S. prison. I remember that. I mean, I was still in Jalisco before the cartel, the new generation Jalisco cartel took over.
Back when it still
Uh,
was cool, huh?
yeah, when I could just be where I didn't have the chance to like catch a stray bullet. Let's see. Blah blah. And his father was sentenced to life in U.S. prison. At the same time, similar violence broke out in Culiacan, a stronghold city for the Sinaloa cartel, before AMLO ordered the military to release Guzman. He's yeah. So it was 6 months of surveillance to capture to get him, and of course, Mexico having a normal one.
Yeah. Every day in Mexico.
It
Mhm.
must be Tuesday in Mexico.
Yeah. It was
Actually, that was
Tuesday.
a Thursday. Actually,
It
that
was
was a Thursday.
That's the joke.
Oh, and then here's a country star Luke Bill died of an accidental fentanyl overdose.
and of course, knowing that Mexico is a country with a very, very dark humor, the same day people started to make memes and make jokes about all the things that happened in that day. One
Yeah.
of the most prominent one was about a guy whose wife sent him to buy tortillas in the middle of the shooting. And in his own words, the reason was because he's more afraid of his wife than of the cartels.
I gotta
I
say that
mean,
that's one of the things I admire from Mexicans is that they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They will make jokes about anything, and
yeah.
I deeply respect that quality in a person.
Yeah, same down here. Most people don't give a fuck except I guess the people in the south who suck Castillo's dick and now they're getting skull fucked by Evo Morales and his commies.
That's ironic.
Anyways, at least 20 and following up, at least 29 killed in Mexico capture of Chapo's son. Yep, there they go. Where they're waiting. Ah, fuck you. Yeah, let's just look at the pictures. So here they are standing out, and soldiers standing outside the prison. Is this all soldiers standing outside the prison? Yep. As I say, and the National Guard, Mexican having a normal one, burning uh, a waste of a good Ford F-150, or is that a F-350? I don't know. And then the Secretary of Defense, Luis Crescencio Sandoval, speaks during a news conference after Mexican drug cartel was captured. So this is the guy who organized the capture. He, although you can't see it, he's got a big old target plastered right on his face.
And rightly so.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I'm thinking right now is because the son of El Chapo is in the same prison that his father used to be. So how long before we learn that he escaped through a tunnel?
I don't know. I give it like at least a day or two. But anyways, let's go back to anyways. Let's go back to the U.S. is having the normal one too, where a 6-year-old intentionally shot teacher in Virginia school. Police say. And this is why I'm not a teacher in America, even though my family has been pressuring me to go up, go back up and be a teacher there to all the immigrants.
I mean, kids are fucked these days, and
Especially
having
American
access to,
kids.
yeah, having access to firearms, even though I completely support the having access to firearms, only makes them more fucked. So I can understand where you're
And
coming from.
what racial background do you think this child is?
Oh,
I'm pretty sure he was from the people of the light.
Hmm.
I'm genuinely curious, as the kids say nowadays.
Anyways, a 6-year-old child deliberately shot a teacher at an elementary school in Virginia on Friday afternoon, according to police. They said in a statement that they have arrested the boy accused of shooting a female teacher at Rich Neck Elementary School in Newport News, Virginia, a city in the southeastern part of the state. They were notified about 2 p.m. that the teacher had been shot inside the school during an altercation of some kind. We did not have a situation where someone was going around the school shooting, the police chief Drew told reporters. We have a situation in one particular location where a gunshot was fired, and the shooting was not an accident. The student has since been taken into custody, and the teacher, a woman in her 30s, was taken to a local hospitals to be treated for injuries that were believed to be life threatening. According to the police department, Drew told reporters that the teacher's condition has improved somewhat by late afternoon. He didn't discuss any details of how the children is thought to have got how the child is thought to have gotten the gun used in the shooting, but he told reporters that officers had moved children on the campus to the school gymnasium and they were safe there while the officers processed evidence that was still on the scene of the shooting. And then blah blah blah, get our students back with their parents. Friday's shooting will almost certainly stoke debate about restricting public access to guns in the U.S., even after Congress passed a bill last year that tightened restrictions on access to firearms for some people who are considered to be at risk of carrying out violence.
Are they talking about black people?
oh
Sounds
my
like they're
god.
talking about black people. I'm just saying.
I don't know.
That would be fucking racist. Just saying.
I mean, it's implied. But yeah, I'm never going to teach in the US because I don't want that day to come where I get blasted away.
Yeah, it would be like being a school teacher in Basque Country in the 1980s.
Oh boy, I bet you have some stories.
I have more stories about. Well, yeah, no. Basically, you could get blasted as well, just not in the class in front of everyone. Like they would probably wait until IRA style. You're gonna open your car, step out of your house, gonna go into the car to go to job, and suddenly some guy comes up from behind you and just shoots you in the back in the head, or just like stick a bomb on the lower part of your car and blows you away. Yeah, that shit happened a lot around here.
Yeah. Which reminds me, I have to go back to argue the Atara one of these days, but I'm currently tied up in yarn.
Yes.
So, you from the Jerusalem Post. U.S. includes 50 Bradleys in new 2.8 billion weapons package to Ukraine. So they're getting a fucking tank. A new U.S. weapons package for Ukraine will include about 50 Bradley fighting vehicles, two U.S. officials said on Thursday, with one of the officials saying that the package will be worth roughly 2.8 billion. That's where all the taxes are going, America.
Hmm.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said a U.S. commitment to supply Kiev with Bradley fighting vehicles for the first time exactly what Ukraine needs. Yeah. In the same address, the Ukrainian president said this commitment showed that his visit to Washington last month has produced concrete results. Maybe he's also doing it because he doesn't want his butt touched by Biden again.
Do we have confirmation on that picture? Do we know if it was real or it was doctored? 'Cause
I
I personally think it was doctored, but only because Biden's arm looked like strangely long and disproportionate. So otherwise, yeah, I can totally believe it happened.
Hmm. But yeah, on Wednesday, President Joe Biden said that sending the Bradleys to Ukraine was considered to help fighting the Russia's invasion. And of course, Russia's ambassador accused the United States of plotting a dangerous course. What else are we sending them? Of the roughly 2.8 billion package, around 800 million of the funds came from foreign military financing to help Ukraine procure weapons. And then the balance came from the Presidential Drawdown Authority for Ukraine, which allows the United States to transfer defense articles like Humvees, trucks, and munitions from stocks quickly without congressional approval in response to an emergency. Yeah. There's Ukrainian and a Bradley.
Well,
The,
that's cool. That's cool. That way they will have more time to dance on TikTok now that they have
yeah.
heavy artillery. That clears their schedule, I'm sure.
Oh, by the way, you heard about what Biden wants to do with TikTok, or already has done with TikTok?
It wants to make it mandatory for every American citizen to have a TikTok account.
No, he's started to banning the use of TikTok in the cell phone of government officials.
Nice.
Oh, so that isn't that what basically what Trump wanted to do, and why they called him like a fascist or racist or something?
Uh,
Basically.
yeah.
Beautiful, just fucking beautiful. By the way, we have Maniac Man in the chat.
Oh, what?
Hey,
Ah, Maniac Man!
hey, maniac.
Maniac Man and all those get sold on the black market. Oh, you bet. You bet your little booty. Also, Vegano for Pope.
Vegano for
For
Pope.
Pope.
Oh, so speaking of Vegano for Pope, I was speaking to the big man, uh, Midnight, and I offered him the idea that we make like Vegano for Pope stickers with a
Yes,
QR code that links to the channel.
Oh,
I think he hates QR codes though. It's like against that cyberpunk dystopian shit.
I know, but he kind of liked my idea of
Oh, okay.
QR codes for our for at least our show. Get more eyes on our wonderful show, right, guys? Right, guys?
Oh,
Paulo, Maniac Man. I know.
I'm cool with that.
I see 3 people are watching. Yeah, so we already sent like $21.3 billion in security assistance to Kiev.
Oh joy.
So we could and many more to follow.
Because a war is always a good opportunity to launder a few billions of dollars from taxpayer money.
All right. Well, I think you guys might enjoy the next one.
Does it involve politicians having their heads severed and impaled in pikes?
Oh shit.
I wish, but these doctors push
What?
masking COVID lockdowns on Twitter. Turns out they don't exist.
What?
Last month, Dr. Robert Honeyman lost their sister to COVID. Sad. They wrote about it on Twitter and received dozens of condolences, over 4,000 retweets, and 43,000 likes. Exactly 1 month later, on December 12th, Honeyman wrote that another tragedy had befallen their family. Sad to announce that my husband had entered a coma after being in hospital with COVID. Hmm. The doctor's unsure if he will come out. They
So
tweeted.
this is gay, right? Because he's a Robert.
Oh, no, no, no. We'll get to that. This year
Okay.
has been the toughest of my life. Losing my sister to this virus. This is the first time in my life I don't see light at the end of the tunnel. Again, the condolences and well wishes rolled in, but there was a problem. Honeyman wasn't real. The transgender.
Oh god. Oh,
Thanks for using my gender preference as a prop, fake dude. The transgender doctor of sociology and feminist studies, with a keen interest in poetry, who used they them pronouns, was, in fact, a stock photo described on deposit photos, a royalty free image site, as smiling, happy, handsome Latino man outside headshot portrait.
Also, I'm pretty sure both Imega and I can testify that that is not a handsome Latino man. We know much more handsome Latinos man than that.
Right.
Yep.
He's mid at most.
Yeah, he's a 5.
Yeah. Their supposedly comatose husband, Dr. Patrick C. Honeyman, was also fake. His Twitter photo had been stolen from an insurance professional in Wayne, Indiana. The two fake doctors, whose accounts urged extreme caution about COVID 19, were part of a network of at least 4 fake accounts that touted their ties with the LGBT WTF BBQ community, vocally advocated for mask wearing and social distancing, and dished out criticism to those who they felt were not taking the pandemic seriously. I mean, how am I supposed to take it seriously now that I guess they're calling the new variant that's brewing in China the Kraken?
Yep.
True facts, people. They're calling the current COVID strain in China the Kraken.
The Kraken. Yeah, I'm surprised that they're not calling it the fluffy puppy or the pink unicorn. They always call it like the Kraken or the Hellhound,
Yeah,
Nightmare.
right.
Mhm.
Anyways, the Honeymans could not be reached for comment as they do not exist, and
Yeah,
Robert
that's
Honeyman's
usually what
account was
happens.
no longer active. So these fake doctors were uncovered by Joshua Gutterman Trannon, a self-described gay writer pursuing a Master's of Fine Arts at Bennington College. He saw Robert Honeyman's tweet about their husband being in a coma, noticed people he followed also followed them, and thought they might be part of the what WTF BBQ academic community. But after 10 minutes of Googling, this guy concluded that Robert Honeyman's photo was a stock image and their biography stretched boundaries of believability. An academic who left no traces on academic websites and had lost 2 family members to COVID in late 22 despite masking and distancing? Question mark. The character looked like liberal Mad Libs. Isn't what every like liberal on Twitter is, just a
That's
liberal
that's the
jackass.
that's the thing. Everything has become so parodic at this point that everything reads like liberal mad libs.
Hmm.
Like that shit is. I haven't you guys seen the picture of that guy sitting alone on a bus stop wearing a mask and like a feminist T-shirt and has like communist tattoos on his arms and he's wearing like slippers with the LGBT flag.
Hmm.
It's like a
Mm,
fucking. It's like he's like a fucking meme. It's like a meme made person. That's how it
Yeah.
is. Like that Robert Honeyman person could be a real person for all I know.
Well,
Like,
Krakens don't. Paulo says, well, Krakens don't actually exist. So, I mean,
well, there's
they are.
some pretty big
They're,
fucking squids here in the coast
yeah,
of Galicia. I'll have you
yeah.
know.
They're basically based on like giant and colossal squids. So,
Mm.
and then Maniac Man says, "Coof unicorn." Yeah. And then he also says, yes, because masks don't work and distancing is dog shit too.
This is pretty fucking accurate. Yes.
Yeah. I'm a self identified leftist and understand that people have a lot of different identities, but it felt concocted
No,
in a
they
lab
don't.
at how many identities and
No, they don't have a lot of different identities unless they're Batman.
as I was saying, the guy says that he's a self identified leftist and that people have a lot of different identities, but it felt concocted in the lab at how many identities and horrible experience can we put on one person, he said. And then here's the image reverse search. And obviously, throughout the pandemic, Twitter has been an important, if complicated, platform and also been a site of disinformation and provocative claims. Let's see. Anything else?
So
Hmm.
who's doing this and why?
I don't know. Oh, here we go. Another account associated with the group, Dr. Gerald Fisher, displayed rainbow, trans, and Ukrainian flags next to his name and described himself as an ally for all in the WTF BBQ community. Hashtag wear a mask. Fisher's account has since been taken down. A fourth account, Dr. Steve Steville, who claimed affiliation with the University of Antwerp, describes himself as a WTF barbecue ally and proud mask, where all four doctors had few things in common. Three had created their accounts during the pandemic. Fisher's account dated to 2019, but his earliest visible tweet was from July 2022. And the doctors also frequently interacted with each other. Fisher's first tweets were, in fact, a retweet, a quote tweet, in response to Robert Honeyman. And and Robert Honeyman claimed that Fisher, who said he was suffering from post-COVID brain fog, was the sharpest individual they met at university. And here it is. I mean, I do have to admit that in this picture, maybe they did like a little bit of Photoshop.
They like chunkified his face or something. I don't know.
Yeah, to make him appear more feminine, I guess. And then here, flags,
oh,
flags in bio, flags in bio. And then all four accounts urged caution about COVID and amplified voices of other Twitter users, blah, 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 mask, vaccinate, socially distance.
I'm surprised that they don't have the blue check mark.
Yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
check this out. This guy says, I scrolled down and found this hilarious non COVID related post. This honeyman says, finally allowed to disclose that I was one of the many consultants for Audie Harrison in the studio and glad we made this a reality. It was a great experience, one I hope to repeat someday. And apparently, this person is claiming they made Velma a lesbian.
What the fuck? What
You
is
didn't
going
knew
on?
you didn't knew that.
It's like they try to become the person that I hate the most in the world somehow.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. The standard was unable to establish who created the four fake doctors, but perhaps the most alarming aspect of their non existence online is also unclear why they were created.
I think we know why.
Is this someone who is well intentioned but perhaps has a lot of anxiety about COVID, and this is a way for them to act out those anxieties? He asked. Or is this something more nefarious where someone thinks creating accounts like this is a way to point at them and say, look how crazy the liberals are?
The thing is, the liberals are crazy because they agree with them. Like liberals aren't like, there's this chick here in Spain called Macarena Olona. She's a lawyer and she used to be in Vox, in the Trumpian party, so to speak, like the conservative liberal party here, and libertarian party.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like really hardcore conservative until she had some problems with the party, and now she's basically gone onto the other side of the political spectrum, and she's begun to retweet like feminists and shit. And the conservatives are like, what the fuck's happened? Like, you don't sound like yourself, you sound weird. Who are you? What's going on? That's something that conservatives do. Liberals don't do that. A liberal could tweet right now, let's just kill every baby in the world and then cannibalize them and then masturbate over their half-eaten bodies. Hashtag Ukrainian flag. And 99% of liberals will be okay with that. Because they're fucking hive mind. They don't question anything.
Um, Maniac Man says, I'm an ASWD ally. I don't really know what that is. Makes about as much sense in this era.
Aren't those like the controls in Call of Duty?
I think so.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Anything else? But as Twitter users marveled over the fake four doctors, at least one person wasn't having it. Vil. Disgusting to see the accusations being thrown my way. It's truly incredible to see how quick good people can switch up on you in the blink of an eye. The age-old saying rings true. The only thing they love more than a hero is to see a hero fail, fall, die, and die trying. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay. But yeah, conspiracy. What's this? Wait, hold on. And then Maniac makes sense. We don't need to make up
Yeah.
instances to point out Wookiee stupidity. It's
You
impossible to do anything crazier than they will.
you will never come up with anything crazier than what they will actually do. They are beyond parody.
Let's see. Oh. Now we go to our favorite place in the world, Oregon. Gresham Max Station attack. Source says victim's face half chewed off.
Jeez.
Holy shit.
In Gresham, Oregon, the police responded to reports of a violent attack early Tuesday morning at the Cleveland Transit Station, with investigators saying the injuries were so severe they could see the 78-year-old victim's skull.
Damn.
Initial reports came in about 2:15 a.m., indicating that someone had been stabbed with a knife on a Max platform on Northeast 8th Street. Arriving law enforcement officers found the suspect still on top of the victim and realized the incident was not a stabbing, but that the suspect had chewed off the victim's ear and part of his face.
Damn.
I mean, picture this: you're just some old guy. You're just chilling at the train station, maybe waiting for the train, and then some deranged individual eats off half your face.
Must be Tuesday on Oregon.
The victim, described as a 78-year-old man from Hillsborough, was treated and transported to the hospital with traumatic injuries. Police also what the fuck is going on? Anyways, it's Sunday night. Sunday night in Peruvia. Was treated and transported for the hospital with traumatic injuries. Police also had to use force in arresting the suspect, and 2 ambulances were called to the scene. Uh, Gresham police later said Corin Kramer, 25, was booked into the Multnomah County Jail on second-degree assault. What the fuck?
Is that what? Is that how eating somebody's face is categorized?
I guess. I don't know Oregon law.
I think it would be like pretty first degree assault if I was like to jump someone and like eat
Okay.
his fucking face.
Yeah. Here's the transcript. The suspect is still on top of the victim. There's people standing around not reacting to this. Like literally.
It must be Tuesday in Portland. Oh look, somebody's eating somebody else's face. Yeah, it's normal. Yeah.
Yeah. There's people standing around not reacting to this. Unknown race male, gray hair. Unknown race male. Gray hair, blue beanie, tan coat, red socks. Think he may be biting him now. Later on the transcript, he says half the guy's face appears to be chewed off. And then there's a statement from the TriMet. They're pithy, say the values the safety of his armed employees and riders above all. Someone was hurt by another person at the Cleveland Avenue station. The Blue Line was not in service at the time, and it's unclear if the people involved were using the transit system at the time. Pithy. Corporation trying to cover their ass. And this is where it allegedly happened. It was disrupted due to police activity. Anything else? By 11:30 a.m., the scene was clear of police. President and TriMet staff were cleaning up the aftermath. Let's see. That really shocked me because most of the time I feel kind of safe walking around. I don't really expect something like that is going to happen. I know there were a few attacks that happened down at the transit center, which is personally why I moved down to this stop. This Jaden Adak said, and it's people are. TriMet commuters tells the station that they're used to carrying weapons or pepper spray for self-protection, but they're becoming increasingly worried after hearing about instances of violent crime at TriMet stations.
About people eating other people's faces.
Some commuters don't want to commute alone anymore, and understandable. It's scary. It's just getting really, really scary. I ride the Max all the time, and it's so convenient, but when you hear scary stories like that, it makes me try to be even more aware, I think, if anything. Julie Anderson had.
Yeah, I would only want to keep my face stuck to my cranium.
Yeah. More statement. Yeah. A normal one in Oregon. Let's see, anything more? Yeah. Maniacman said ASWD. It's usually just computer controls. Paulo says Oregon reminds me of The Future in the Time Machine starring Rod Taylor. Morlock bites Eloy's face off. Other Eloy don't react. No, yeah. Sorry if I was one of the cops who would have blown the crazy bastard away. There's no saving somebody that insane. And if you live in a city, you should be really aware all the time. That too. I haven't really gotten in any dangerous situations, but still got to keep on my toes. And Holocaust says soy lattes are worse than meth. Agreed. All right. We're wrapping up.
All right.
So first we say, let me see if I can fix this. Try to get this off the mobile here. There we go. This title, man.
Lord help us.
3 amigos gather this week in Mexico City to talk North American excellence. Uh,
Uh,
was more like grumpy old men and uh,
Bastard.
bastard. The Cuban bastard. Uh, Familiar North American irritants, U.S. protectionism, intransigence on continental trade, irregular migration. Return to the fore this week as the so-called Three Amigos. Huh. Meet for a trilateral summit in Mexico City. Canada has an automotive axe to grind with the U.S. Since the three stooges met up at the White House in November 2021. At this North American Leaders Summit, however, the threat of an America First approach to energizing the electric vehicle industry has abated, unlike the worsening migration crisis Biden faces at the U.S. Mexico border. That likely means Castro will need to raise his voice a little to get to Biden's attention on matters of specific concern to Canada, says Scotty Greenwood, chief executive of the Canadian American Business Council. Let's see. What else? Canada has vested interest in many of the issues likely to dominate the agenda of the summit, which gets underway on Tuesday. And like the US, it is a destination country for illegal migrants. No! Canada literally encourages immigration.
Yep.
I've seen, and Mega, you've seen the ads. You've seen the ads where like, please come to Canada and get an education.
Yep. Also, in Facebook recently, I'm seeing a lot of journalist articles saying, "Oh, Mexican who lives in Canada makes a shit ton of money," and they
Mm,
are encouraging people from Mexico to go to Canada.
yep. But when it comes to fostering the growth of critical minerals industry, a cornerstone of the burgeoning market for electric vehicles, the U.S. expects Canada to be doing even more than it already is. Okay, market talk, market talk. Let's see. Biden and Trudeau will hold their own bilateral meeting Tuesday before the start of the summit's formal agenda. Biden, who is traveling south this weekend to visit the Mexico-U.S. border in advance of the summit, will hold a similar one-on-one meeting with AMLO on Monday. Our partnership with Canada and Mexico is crucial to our economic security, prosperity, democratic, blah blah blah. I I don't know. Was NAFTA a good thing?
Uh, I think it was not right.
No, I think it
No.
wasn't.
I
I think
forgotten. I know. I used to know about it. I've completely forgotten because I think I already told you that my brain is like a hard drive.
yeah.
I get rid of all the information and substitute the new one.
Uh, my thoughts on NAFTA was Mexico really got shafted.
Mm.
Mexico always gets shafted.
We
Yeah.
had a lot of comments in the comment section that we haven't gotten to yet.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Anything else? Anything else juicy? No. 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 Okay,
nine.
then we'll just leave this and go through the comments before we get to the um our last story. Justine Castro needs to get Sleepy Joe and Amlo to do all the choreography for Three Amigos movie. Oh God.
¿Cómo
Please.
iba, ¿Cómo iba la canción? Somos los tres charros, los tres caballeros, y nadie igual a nosotros. Ay, Jalisco, no te rajes.
Yeah,
He also says that soy lattes are worse than meth.
yeah.
That
I think I already showed that. Yeah,
anyway,
I have never tasted a soy latte.
no, me neither. But
good.
I mean, soy is being more destructive than meth for society. That's for sure.
Mhm. Well, anyways, Our last story for the night.
Yeah, wait.
Former adult actor Ron Jeremy to be declared incompetent to stand trial for rape due to severe dementia. If
I
he
don't
does not
know. That's
improve, we will not be
good.
able to try him for his crimes.
Is that a good or a bad thing that he can be tried because he's demented? You decide, dear viewer.
Ah, yes. Ron Jeremy will reportedly be declared incompetent to stand trial for more than 30 counts of R word. According to the Los Angeles Times, the retired adult film star.
Am I hearing like a Mexican voice in the background?
Me?
Is
No.
that you? Someone? What was that?
What's going on? I heard.
Oh, it was my cell phone. You hear it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can hear that.
Fuck.
Oh my god. For shame.
Oh,
Anyways,
Lord.
according to the Los Angeles Times, the adult film star 69 nah, whose legal name is Ronald Jeremy Hyatt, is suffering from severe dementia and will be declared unfit for trial on January 17th and likely to be placed in a state-run hospital following allegations from at least 20 women since June 2020. In an email obtained by the Times, the LA County Deputy District Attorney Paul Thompson said that mental health experts enlisted by both the prosecutors and Hyatt's legal team determined his condition, of which there was no evidence he was faking. And here he was in better times. If he does not improve, we will not be able to try him for his crimes, he continued, because criminal proceedings are suspended as long as he is incompetent. We also cannot get a guilty plea from him or discuss other measures to get justice from the victims in this case. Oh, he's playing the long game.
Definitely is.
Mm-hmm. Some of Hyatt's relatives reportedly suspected that he suffered from dementia before his arrest in 2020, and experts reached their conclusion based on medical documents as well as interviews with Hyatt. So this Leanne Young, a former British actress and one of Hyatt's accusers, told the Times that she was kind of numb after hearing of the decision. It's going to come down to public opinion now, and public opinion has looked at Ron like a god. I mean, he's a pretty prolific actor. And then he was indicted on more than 30 counts of SA with accusations dating back to 1996 and victims ranging from ages 15 gross to 51. Okay. And he pleaded not guilty and has maintained his innocence. Okay. And how
Uh, that's really that's the complicated question. Like, how are you? Who are you gonna believe? Are you gonna believe a really old demented porn star, or who are the victims again?
yeah, I mean, I guess he is a porn star, so
He might remember he used to be a porn star.
mhm.
Maybe not.
Yeah, he used to be a he he was like the big porn star along with
Yep.
Yeah.
John Holmes.
And he was also an inspiration because he was a short, pudgy guy with a mustache. You know, if he could be a porn star, anyone could be a porn star.
Mhm.
Well,
I mean,
he
having a giant dick also helped him too. So
Well, some of us don't have a problem with that, if you know what I mean.
By the way, Canales, I wanted to ask you a question.
All right.
You know who is Victoria Lee?
Oh yeah, she's an MMA fighter who died, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna
Yeah,
grab that
yeah,
story, but I didn't. But I forgot.
yeah. Well, we still don't know what happened. Like, I think she was like 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, only
Yeah,
18 years old.
she was only. Like,
Some people are saying that she offed herself, while others are saying that she had a uh, vaccine related.
yeah,
Ooh.
she basically caught climate change. Yeah,
So just
actually,
like
there's
like
people who wonder the same about Hector Roca. Like, did she like did he like
he
get climate changed?
like Ushan Awari,
Who's that?
the NFL player that
Oh,
passed
mm,
away last week.
yeah, 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 yeah. But basically the same, right? Like everybody's like getting climate change as of late. So you gotta ask, you gotta wonder.
Yeah, no, well, I'm sure something will come out later that we can discuss on the next show. But anyways, as I said, I promised the fat greasy one a short show. So
The fat greasy one appreciates.
what's going on in the future?
Ladies first, Canales.
Yes. I'm sorry. What was the question?
Come on, ma'am. Please move along. We don't
Yeah,
have much time.
yeah. I'm sorry. It's it's really late and I'm really old and
But
I
yeah,
can wait.
as I said, what are your upcoming plans for the week?
Well, I guess I'll just draw and yeah, I'm working on the Ace Volume 3 for Edwin Acevedo, and I'm also working for Gentleman's Guild for Derek Fury. And what happened? I was supposed to begin production on a comic for, well, with Raw of War Campaign, but I'm still waiting on his script, so I don't know.
Oh,
So yeah, just draw all week long.
in Megarts.
Well, next week I return back to work, both in my real work and my real job, sorry, and to the commissions.
Yeah.
I got the email from these bastards.
Okay. Yeah. Oh wait. Also, before we go, in Mega, what's going on with your boy Zach?
You
Oh
really
yeah,
want to talk about that?
Just briefly. Okay.
Okay.
What the fuck is going on? I'm hearing like a bunch of sirens going on. I wonder if another warehouse caught on fire.
Uh, I think you know the same things that I know. Someone found an old porn video in which he was one of the background actors. He
Okay.
doesn't he doesn't perform any kind of sexual activity. The only thing he does is grab a breast and give it a little massage. That's it.
and
Wow.
he gets paid for that.
I hope he got paid for that.
Fucking hell, he's my idol now. You go, Zach.
That's. Well, I also heard that he also started with his like girlfriend too at the time.
Mm, well, like many people were saying, is that Zack normally is dating women who are not white, and the big evidence is his sons. So it'll be pretty shocking if that was his girlfriend.
I thought he only has one son and two daughters.
Hmm.
It's a good point. So that's
Yep.
apparently what happened. Like somebody unearthed an old video in which Zack is like a background extra for a porn shoot.
Yeah, and the common theory was that during the Mark Wade trial, someone was holding up that video, and that apparently they blackmailed him to, how's it called?
Uh, I
To come
guess
to,
that's possible, but I don't know.
to
Doesn't
come to
sound
an
like
agreement,
Yeah,
it.
to settle down, to
to
settle.
to
Yeah,
Yeah.
settle.
or they will release the video, but I doubt it because, I mean, uh, how many people hated Zack back then? Shit ton of people. They would have released that video if they knew about it.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't have be able to hold back on it.
No.
Like they would have released it for sure.
Yeah, for example, Tim Doyle, who went to look even for his
Dude, Tim Doyle
taxes.
is a fucking psycho.
Even I think someone said something about Peggy Poulter too.
Oh, that he lost the lawsuit against Vitamin Skyrim.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, officially the Comicsgate trademark belongs to Item Ben Skyrim.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Anyways, I think that's that. Uh, this concludes another wonderful episode of Awful Goodness. We'll see you. We'll see you next Sunday, maybe a little earlier depending on the schedule.
Or depending on
As for me,
Canales.
yep. As for me, I'm probably going to be working on this stupid little monster, the green rainbow friend. And then I'm going to start work on another rainbow friend. And then my wrist is going to hurt. Anyways, let's say our goodbye, gentlemen. Goodbye.
Bye. Adios.
Also, thank you, Paulo and Maniac Man, for joining us today. You
Mhm.
get to be our super fans of the week because you actually
Yay!
participated.
Bravo.
Yay!
All right. Until next time, stay frosty.